Will you pray with me? Lord, may the words of my lips and the meditations of all our hearts be acceptable in your sight. We long for this because you are our fortress and our Redeemer. Amen. For me, it was a roadhouse just outside Ithaca, New York, called the Common Ground. 4 miles outside of town, you had to drive late at night, and there was a great, long gravel and grass parking lot. And when you went inside, which you could do as young as 18, they would make you wear a bracelet, but you could get in at 18. When you went in, you would be bathed in a continuous cloud of cigarette smoke and accosted by a continuous stream of weird regulars. Ask my husband and he'll tell you about the park in Roanoke, Virginia, a place that he and his college friends still talk about like it's a country from which they are in unwilling diaspora. Ask any queer person you know and they will have a story about a place like this, about a bar or a coffee shop or a dance club that they went to and could feel safe. They'll tell you about falling in love for the first time there. They'll tell you about cutting loose and dancing like nobody was watching for the first time there. They'll tell you the story about the first time they wore glitter and wings in public, the place where they went to show off their new butch haircut, the place where they first kissed a girl, the place where he first dumped a boy. They will tell you story after story about some place. And when they do, you will hear gratitude and devotion in their voices. These places are sanctuaries. Pure and simple sanctuaries in every sense of the word. They're a sanctuary in terms of being a place where we can be safe from the world and be apart. But they're sanctuaries in the sense of being a place where the living God, the creator of heaven and earth, is alive and dancing, whether you know it or not. And when I think of sanctuaries, I think of the poor Gerasene demoniac, the guy in today's story. Whatever it was he had, whatever was wrong with him, whatever was roiling inside of him, whether it was demons or not, whether it was bad or not, it wasn't welcome in the town where he lived. Whatever it made him do, whatever it made him say, whatever it made him look like, the people did not want it around. And you wonder what had to happen before he found himself in the tombs. What people had to say to him, or do to him, or throw at him, or call him, before the tombs felt like a sanctuary to him. And I wonder, it sounds terrible to live in the tombs to us. Then again, gay bars sound terrible to some people. So I wonder, did he like it where he was, there in his sanctuary? Was he happy there? It doesn't say, we assume not, but I think it's a fair question. Whatever it was that was wrong with him, we know that part of what the people had to do to him was chain him up, tie him down. So it must have been pretty bad, at least in their eyes, but then again, that's just what they used to do to women who didn't do what men told them to do. Then again, that's just what they used to do to gay people. Then again, that's just what they used to do to people who showed up in church and asked hard questions. Is it not? So I have to wonder, maybe he was happier there in the tombs. And then I have to wonder what it was like when Jesus invaded them. Because every sanctuary gets invaded sooner or later. By madness or by death or by slow decay, every one will be invaded one day. Even God, our best sanctuary, even God was penetrated. Even God was brought low. Death entered even his life. Every sanctuary will be penetrated sooner or later. Even Pulse in Orlando. And I have to wonder, did Omar Mateen ever have a sanctuary? Whatever was roiling in him, whatever was about to explode out of him in gunfire and death, did he have a place where he could have gone to be safe from that? We're celebrating our learning community later in the service, our Sunday school. The place where we welcome our children and teach them something about God and try to build for them a sanctuary, a place where they can show up and be weird. Where they can show up and be themselves, show up and ask questions, show up dressed however they want and be told that God is in love with them. A place where they can even bring their demons if they need to and still be safe. And so when I think about that, I picture young Omar Mateen and I wonder, did he have something like that in his life before he decided to invade that sanctuary? Every sanctuary will be penetrated sooner or later. But here's the good news. Here's the news that the Gerasene demoniac learned, that not every person who invades a sanctuary is there to do harm. He was not happy to see Jesus walk in. He said as much himself. But then he discovered this, that sometimes it's love that invades your sanctuary. Sometimes it's love that penetrates your life. Sometimes it is the one who was himself brought low by death, but who refused to stay down. Who leapt up on high and said, "This will not be the end." The one who is our sanctuary with a capital S. Every sanctuary will be penetrated sooner or later, even this one, even our learning community. But here's what I hope. Here's what I'm pinning my hope on. Here's what I'm hanging my entire life on. That when this sanctuary, or this one, is penetrated, it will be by love. If you long for that too, say amen.
Amen.